Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of a little segment I like to call Flex and Reflect Sunday Sit Down. Every Sunday, I sit down and I reflect on the questions that have been asked through the week and answer them here. So I'm going to do something that I perhaps haven't done before. I've got 10 questions here. Normally, I can only get through about five. So I like to talk. So if this is the first time you're listening, I like to answer the questions around health, wellness, fitness, nutrition, strength training, cardio training. Mindset is a real passion of mine as well. So let's get straight into it. If you can hear sirens in the background, obviously at the time of recording this, it's the 22nd of December. I think it's the local fire brigade. They get Santa on the fire truck and they drive around the area. So it's a beautiful day here for that and for the kiddies. All right, number one, how can someone adapt their workout routine to maintain consistency during the busy holiday season? This is a common sort of question, I guess, and can be really tricky for people around this time of the year. Me personally, I don't have a lot of Christmassy things to do, so I just work. I work all the way through Christmas Day, Boxing Day. I just keep on working. Now, when it comes to the health and wellness side of things, I also don't go away because it's a busy time for me. I like to really focus. Uh, but a lot of my clients have, they shut down on, say, Friday, just gone, and now they may be on holidays until January. And I have some people that are like, right, this is a great time to be focusing. They're not going away and they want to really focus on themselves. And there's other people that they do go away with. Well, so I've got some clients going overseas. I've got some clients going locally and stuff. So depending on your situation, this is a time of the year for me personally where I'm super, super focused on everything, but specifically my health and fitness and my strength training as well. So I'm looking to like just get in all my sessions, be lifting heavier weights, and just keep on progressing. Now that's not for most people. So I say this for people that are, say, going away. Um, I say, okay, well, if you've been consistent with your strength training and everything, just have a week off. Like don't worry about the strength training because often we go to places where it can be challenging to find our right place. So, for instance, when I went to LA in the last month, I stayed at the Hyatt Regency there in Anaheim, and one of the reasons I like it is they have a really good gym set up there, and I can do the workouts that I want to do. I have to modify them a little bit, but they've got a good range of dumbbells, some like machines and stuff there as well. But mainly it's the dumbbells, the free weights like barbells and stuff, and benches, flat, incline, etc. Enables me to do a great workout there. But the last 2 days where I stayed, it was disgraceful. I couldn't do strength training with like weights that I normally would. Now I managed to, well, I didn't do workouts on those particular days. So what I say to people is, why don't you just have a break from the strength training? Still focus on eating well, still get out and go for your walks or a run or, whatever it is that you do for your cardio. But don't put so much pressure on yourself to do the strength training. And then in the next week, if you're away for a few weeks, then maybe if nothing else, you've got some like a short body weighted program that you can do. I, um, so the strategy I've given one particular client, I've said, look, you've been training hard for the last sort of 8 to 10 weeks. Normally I do it in 12 weeks, but just because of Christmas and everything, and they're going away camping. I said, just have a week off the strength training. I said, then you've just removed it from your mind, right? It's like, just don't worry about it. No body weight exercise, nothing. Just have a week off, let the body rest and do those things that I just said about the cardio and everything. Next week, when he comes back, I say, just have fun with your workouts. If you're going to a gym, just get into the gym and have some fun. And what I mean by that is I have fun all the time with my workouts, but maybe do some workouts that you haven't done before. Say, all right, I'm going to pick, say, 4 or 5 exercises I'm going to do. Maybe it's some equipment that you haven't used before or you haven't used for a while, and just focus on getting a pump into the muscle. So like you know what I'm talking about. You get the pump and the more bicep curls that you do, you start to, get more blood pumping into the muscle and focus on more of that and the muscle fatigue rather than the numbers that you're lifting. And do that for a week, and then in that next week, get back into that strength training. And that's how we are able to progress. We focus on 12-week training blocks, and we do 3 to 4 of those throughout the year. And then we have that time off to just recover, and that's good for the mindset as well. So I think you just got to see where you're at, what's really important for you right now in terms of your health and wellness, and either push through and focus really hard, or you say, you know what, I'm just going to have a week off the strength training, no more than a week, and then get back into it. So then it's up to you to pick where it is. If this is your week, it's like, okay, where am I going to put that? Where am I going to put that week? Is it Christmas Eve through to New Year or whatever? I just think it's a great time of the year to step things up. But all right, so that's that question number 2. What are the key benefits of strength training for long-term health, especially for people in their 50s and beyond? Well, there is more and more research coming out every single week about how strength training helps with every aspect of improving health. It doesn't matter whether it's dementia, heart disease, diabetes, stroke. It doesn't matter what it is. There is more and more research coming out about it. So I think you need to get your headspace into that place where you say strength training is an absolute must. To me, it's a little bit like, should I be breathing today? Should I be breathing in, clean, fresh air, or should I not worry about it? Strength training is like that. You have to do it, and do it for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter what age you start, just start and do it for the rest of your life. I'm really grateful that I found it 36 years ago and started when I did, because it just has such a powerful impact on me. So going back to the question, the key benefits, it will just benefit everything. Right. So I spoke to somebody just on Thursday, actually, 62, needs a knee replacement. And I said, have you ever, and he's hobbling, and that's how we got to that patent, that point in the discussion, and clearly in pain. And I said, have you ever done strength training before? And he said, no. And I'm like, I see 62 years of age, you're getting pain in your knees. Yes, you've been told that you need a knee replacement, but you're not focusing on what we can do to strengthen the muscles above the joint and below the joint to help take the pressure off the joint. And even if you still need a knee replacement, you can become less pained by that. And then, of course, the constant nature of like pain buildup just wears away at your mindset. So there's really no downside to the strength training. You just got to do it safely and what's right for you, because I'm working with people that, well, they can even be in their 30s, but certainly from mid 40s and upwards. And by the time they get to their 50s and when they're in their 60s, they come to me with all kinds of different issues. So health that, like going on inside their body, like a doctor would test for, like through a blood test and stuff. So that might be heart disease, all that kind of stuff. But they're all banged up in their, like shoulders, back, knees and stuff. And then we make them better and more pain-free. So there's really no downside to it, but you've got to work with the right people, because like for me, I don't do rehab, but in the training that I do, it rehabs people. But if somebody really needs a lot of rehab, then it's not my wheelhouse. I know a number of things working like with my own body and shoulders and knees and back and stuff, but I normally refer them on to work with me in conjunction with a specialist. But yeah, so yeah, good question. Reach out for a free consultation with me if you're unsure where to get started. Number 3, what are some practical tips for balancing cardiovascular and strength training in a weekly schedule? What I like to do is, this isn't like if it's an athlete or things like that, but just general, good, healthy advice. 3 strength sessions a week, and every day or every other day, you're doing some cardio. And what I personally do, which I like as a guide because it's sustainable for the rest of your life, you see all kinds of things, like you've got to thrash yourself each day and spend hours and hours of doing this stuff. And you don't have to, because For most people, it's not sustainable. They don't enjoy that. So I do 3 strength sessions. I do a Tuesday, I do a Thursday, and I do a Sunday, being today, which is my favorite workout of the week because I don't have to look at the clock. I can take longer time and a little bit longer in recovery, and I can then go for so I train legs. I can do a 5 kilometer walk afterwards as a bit of active recovery as well. It takes me about an hour, depending on the pace I'm walking. And what that does is I can do that for the rest of my life. And then you just make the training interesting by having a certain program and so forth. And then the cardio, for me, I just walk. I just walk, right? I'm not a fan of running. For me personally, like using the cardio equipment and stuff. Like I'm inside a lot, so I just like to get out in nature. Like you can hear the wind blowing and stuff. It's a beautiful day today. It's just nice to get out in nature in my neighborhood and just walk around. I personally focus on getting 10,000 steps a day. That's through like a structured walk as well as just incidental walking. But for longevity in doing this, I think, yeah, I want to make sure I'm working well. 3 strength sessions. Do 4 if you really want to, but 3 is all that's really required for most. And then walking either every day or every other day that you're not doing strength training. So every day you get up and say, okay, I'm doing something today for physical activity. What is it? And then if it's just a walk, just go for a 20-minute walk. Just be done. If you want to do more than that, then great. But that is sustainable for the rest of your life. So I just like to balance it that way. Don't think about, oh man, I've got to really thrash myself for an hour doing cardio and looking at the numbers that you're burning on your watch and everything. Don't worry about that. We want you to love it. We want it to be sustainable. We don't want you to be injured and, things that you can do for the rest of your life. All right. Number 4, how can someone incorporate more nutrient dense foods into their diet without overcomplicating meal plan? So the easiest thing to do there is I would just say focus on plant food. And I don't mean becoming vegetarian or vegan, but focus on getting more plant-based food into what it is that you're currently doing as a first step. Now, most people tend not to get enough protein in. Most women I find tend not to get enough iron into their bodies. So there's a couple of simple things. I would just say like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Are you getting in a good serve of protein in there? And if you are, in terms of your iron intake, are you getting in enough red meat into your daily, weekly consumption to help boost your iron levels? So I know a bit of a science lesson, medical lesson, perhaps, if you don't already know this. For most people, our iron stores will remain the same, and they only deplete by us losing blood. So obviously, for women during their cycles, that's when it comes down. And most women tend not to have a focus on eating more red meat to do that, and they might take supplements and stuff, but some don't, and then they just find that they get to that point where their energy levels are so low, they go to the doctor, they have a blood test, they say their iron levels are so low, they need an iron infusion, and it takes time to build that back up and all that kind of stuff. So the easiest way is to just, if you're not vegetarian or vegan, is just to consistently eat red meat. Okay, lean red meat. So that'd be those ones. And then the plant-based food, most adults do not eat anywhere near enough plant-based food. So I think the numbers are like in Australia, it's like 85% of adults do not eat the recommended daily intake of vegetables. So think about how can you get more vegetables into your diet. I think the recommended daily intake is like 7, something like that, 5 to 7 serves, like 2 serves of fruit and 5 to 7 of vegetables for most adults. So think about a serve being a cupful, like a metric cupful. I easily do that a day, but I know that I'm very focused on it. So just think about where can I add more in? How can I add more vegetables into, say, breakfast? Maybe it's a vegetable omelet, or maybe it's some fruit at that point, where like it's a smoothie or something like that. Morning tea, afternoon tea is normally like some fruit, yogurt, something like that. And then so think about how am I getting in enough at lunchtime, whether that be salads. I prefer vegetables. They're more filling and they seem to work better with my body. And then dinner time as well. Where am I getting in vegetables there? Am I getting in like 2 to 3 cups of vegetable? Excuse me, with those things. And maybe you could snack on, some vegetables and stuff as well. So that would be the best, easiest way to do it. Focus on those things first. What are the most effective ways to combat sugar cravings while staying on track with your nutrition goal? one of the things that happens here is it's normally around that 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon where your eating hasn't been great throughout the day. So what happens is that your blood sugar levels start to drop. And so then your body says, I feel like sugar because your blood sugars are dropping. So if you eat consistently throughout the day, so think about it, you've got breakfast, you've got morning tea, you've got lunch, and then by the afternoon, 3 to 4 o'clock, this is your fourth meal slash snack for the day. If you've got these other things right that I said before with your, so your protein, your plant-based food, like the right portion of high energy carbohydrates, whether that be bread, wrap, rice, pasta, potato, that kind of stuff, then you'll find that by the time you get to the afternoon, you're having a nice balanced snack. If you're really hungry, I suggest like a frozen smoothie or something like that with a good amount of protein in it, and that's really satisfying. But that's a way to help remove those crashes because what do most people do? They get up, they don't eat breakfast. I think I've been bitten by a mosquito here. Um, they don't eat a proper breakfast or no breakfast, and they just have coffee. So already you haven't consumed, you haven't really broken the fast from the night before, from when you've eaten. Then morning tea, yeah, don't really eat that. Then you go for lunch, and some people, I don't know, maybe they go for a chicken schnitzel sandwich or something like that. Not enough protein in it, high in calories through fat and so forth. And then so really only eaten maybe once up until afternoon tea, and the body says, "What are you doing? You know, your blood sugars are dropping. It's not working." So we change it by just eating more frequently. And every 2 to 3 hours, making sure you've got those nutrients right and drinking lots of water as well. All right, next question. How can people enjoy holiday meals guilt-free while maintaining their nutrition goal? So the easiest way to look at this is Christmas Day is one day. Now, uh, maybe it's 2 days because some people do the Christmas Eve with, split families and all that kind of stuff. Do the Christmas Eve, do Christmas Day. Maybe some people do a Boxing Day thing, but I haven't really heard of that. It's like Christmas Eve and whatever, or they're in the days, weeks leading up to that. So it's only like 1 or 2 days for really most people. So the easiest way to do it is say, okay, well, let's just say it's Christmas Day. Just have the day off and eat what you want, right? And get back on the next day. And then what I've personally found for myself to enjoy the day, just don't overindulge. Like, don't go eating, for instance, years ago, I went to someone's place and I was very conservative with my meals. It was like the last thing I want to do is to be sitting there at, say, at the time of recording this, it's like 10 to 2. And it's like sitting there going, oh, that feeling where you've eaten so much and then bang, it hits you, and it's like, oh man, I really feel in pain now. I hate that. And so I normally just eat normally. So I don't eat turkey that often. So if somebody's cooked a turkey and there's some turkey and some vegetables and that kind of stuff, then great. So this particular instance was there was some plum pudding. I said, oh, just a little bit. And they said, oh, do you want custard and ice cream? And I'm like, oh, just a little bit of custard. And it was very rich, and the custard, just to me tasted a little bit different. So then I came home, and later that night, um, the toilet and I had a bit of an experience, and I was so unwell. And I'm like, what happened? And then I thought, buttermilk does not agree well with me, so I can't eat buttermilk pancakes or just buttermilk products. And so I looked up, I remember seeing the brand of custard that they used, and I looked it up, and yeah, it had buttermilk in it. And like I didn't have diarrhea or, vomiting, but I was I was just so unwell. And I eventually fell asleep and woke up in the morning and I was okay, but it was so, so bad. So yeah, do you think I'm having that again in a hurry? No, no, I'm not. So yeah, I'm very cautious that I'm not eating, like weird foods or overindulging or anything like that. But you know what you can handle, what you can't. And I would say just don't go nuts, right? A lot of people go nuts with alcohol and stuff. I don't drink. Um, find what it is that's still enjoying the company and that kind of stuff, and without really being so hard on yourself that you don't enjoy the Christmas meal or whatever that looks like for you. But here's the thing. don't make an excuse for yourself to say, okay, so I said before that I have clients that are, say, taking off, say, from around the 19th, 20th of December through to, say, the 6th of January or the 13th of January, or there'll be people that are going on leave for the whole of January. Don't use that as an excuse for the whole period of time where you're just going to eat whatever it is that you want. This should be a time where you're really doubling down on your health. You've got more time. You've got more time to think about what's important for you. Think about what you've done this year. Think about what you're going to do till the end of the year. What are you going to do going into next year? How can you boost your goals, challenge yourself, make the goals bigger, and so forth? And then just you go and attack it. So I think that's the key. Say, okay, it's it's 1 or 2 days, whatever your situation is, and just don't go nuts. That's that's the simple thing. All right, what strategies can someone use to stay motivated when progress feels slow or stagnant? Well, with that, I think let's address the slowness first. Just know that any huge thing that you want to achieve in life, whether it is a change in your health and wellness, like to embed, say, a healthy lifestyle, let's say you've got a lot of weight that you want to shift as well. Don't think it's going to happen overnight. And instead, focus on the small things that you can be doing consistently to give you the result that you're going to get down the track. Because a lot of people want to go, okay, give me the result, give me the result, give me the result, whether it's Ozempic, whether it's a gastric sleeve, gastric band, extreme dieting, that kind of thing. To say, I just need to lose kilos fast. It's like, well, if you do it that fast and you don't alter your mindset to allow it to do the work for you, to make different choices, to give you the outcome, and somebody just gives you the outcome, it's a little bit like winning the lottery. If you win the lottery, you haven't understood what the focus and work ethic and the relationships and everything that you need to build to accumulate that wealth. Somebody's just given it to you. So therefore you can't appreciate it as much. And so what I like to do is focus on those little things that you can do every single day, like the things that I've just mentioned here, how you can continue to build on your own mindset to say, yeah, I'm really proud of the steps that I've taken. Let's just say you've lost 500 grams on a weight loss journey for a week. So fantastic. Well done. Look at what it is that you did to help you achieve that. And if you look at that over the course of a week, that's 25 kilos, right? Actually, I don't know why I said that. It's 26 kilos. So we just got a bonus kilo. Um, and how would you like to be there this time next year and say, I've lost 26 kilos? Wow, I'm proud of myself just by doing those things consistently. Does it matter that it's taken a year to do it? No, because it will make you stronger and a better person because of the journey that you've gone through. The consistency in which you've done it. So that would be the first thing. If you if it's, what's the second word? It's progress. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit slow, it is progress. And so stay focused on that. If you're becoming stagnant, then I would ask yourself, are you being too hard on yourself in terms of, what it is that we just talked about there? Is that relevant? And the other one is, are you still really inspired by your own goals? Do you need to change those? Are you becoming stale in your workouts? You're not enjoying your workouts anymore. Are you overtraining? Are you undertraining? Are you just not being consistent? What else is going on in your life to cause that? Are you not attaching your health, wellness, fitness, etc., to the success of what it is that you really want to achieve? And so it requires a bit of pulling apart and reverse engineering as to, well, how did you get here? And why are things like that? And it's not normally one thing, it's a combination of things, and you kind of need to pull that apart. Again, I would say if you are really stuck there, have a free consultation with me and maybe we can talk about some strategies there. Okay, 3 questions to go. What are some tips for overcoming self-doubt when pursuing fitness and wellness goals? Okay. So I guess the biggest one that I come across is nothing, and people coming in and say nothing works for me. I guess my body's just meant to be this way. I've tried these things before and it just doesn't work. Or I get a little bit of success, but then after 6 weeks, things fall away. Well, I get people that say, I've tried everything. Well, clearly you haven't tried everything because you haven't worked with me before. So um, I'm part of everything and you haven't worked with me before. So you haven't done everything. So it's just people, like exaggerating what it is that they have done. What they're really saying is, I've tried a number of things and nothing's really worked well for me. So how can we change that? And I guess the ways of overcoming the self-doubt are realizing that you haven't tried everything, right? Today's a new day. You're a different, you're in a different place today than you were yesterday. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse, whatever. But today, in this moment, is different to what was there yesterday. And a lot of the time, it just comes down to working with the right person to help you get the things out of your head that are going on, the limiting beliefs, and that can take time, and it takes trust too, because it requires vulnerability for you to talk about what is going on for you. And the only way that you can make progress in some of these areas is to speak about it with somebody that you trust so that that person can then help you with the right strategies. It's got a lot of success as well. I can help you bust through those things. So with 36 years of experience, I don't know if there's anything I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of stuff. People tell me so many things that are going on in their life, and it's heartbreaking in many instances, but bad things happen to good people, and there are ways of conquering those self-doubts. Um, I think if you we can easily focus on the negative things. So I think you really need to write some of this stuff down so that you can just eliminate it from your mindset. Otherwise, it just keeps running around like a merry-go-round in your head and just getting bigger and bigger, and then you'll just add more things to it. So I think writing down the things that you want and why you want those things, and then perhaps writing down what all your limiting beliefs are and all your self-doubts, and then try and understand, like imagine you did a table, all your self-doubts, and then write down next to that, why do you think you have those? Where do you think they came from? And already some of you may be thinking, oh, well, that's too much hard work. But think about eliminating these things in your life forever. It's not just going to happen by, I can't just say, oh, wave the wand and boom, it's done. Again, that's the easy way out. That's the easy solution. Someone can help guide you, but you've got to dig deep in order to understand, all right, well, what's going on for me? Where does that come from? And it's not until I did some of these things myself that I realized that, yeah, these were coming from the house that I grew up in. And some things I liked and some things I didn't like. And it's like, okay, well, how do I eliminate those ones that I don't like? And what are some strategies to do that? And then what do I need to practice each day? That is the single biggest exercise that you can do that is going to greatly help you. And then I think, like I said, working with someone like me that can help you explore those things a little bit more, and then come up with the right strategy. That is probably the best tips that I can give you. You've got to go on your own little self-discovery uh, journey to try and uncover these things. Let's go with the last two. What's the biggest lesson you've learned this year about achieving sustainable health and wellness? Never stop. Don't give up. Uh, keep challenging yourself. Stay focused on what's important to you. Attach your health and wellness to the success of every other area of your life. And that's the biggest game changer, I think, for anyone. As soon as you start to see it as a separate element of your life, it will fail at some point. But if you see it as like I said at the start, it's a little bit like if you say, well, I'm just going to stop breathing, then you know that you've only got, what, a couple of minutes before you're going to die. To me, that's what focusing on your health and fitness is. It's my life. It breathes life into me. It brings me all the success that I achieve is because of my health and wellness and fitness. So, yeah, it's just something that you've got to remain connected with always, and understand that if I stop this, it is like stopping breathing. If I don't keep perfecting this, it's kind of like I've got asthma and I'm not breathing as well. My lungs aren't filling up with oxygen. I'm not the best version of me. My brain's not working as well. So that's the way that I would look at it. And last question, How can someone manage stress better without sacrificing their health goals? Probably refer my previous point. Stress and big management of your stress is going to come down to your exercise and also your food and the other things that you've got going on in your life in terms of your continuous growth. And if you continue to grow yourself, then you find that you become more of a problem solver rather than a problem maker. You develop a solution-based mindset, which enables you to basically crash through anything. And that is super powerful. And just know, for instance, if I'm really stressed and I do a workout, a strength workout, I feel so much better afterwards because you're taking time out to stop and give back to you and give back to your body. And to me, that's hugely important. Going for a walk out in nature is also a massive way of reducing stress. Getting things out of your head, having that safe place to get things out of your head where there's no judgment or anything. And this is where it can be hard with whether it's say family, for instance, whether it's even your partner and friends and stuff. They're not equipped to be able to handle maybe some deep issues that are going on for you. Doesn't mean you shouldn't talk about it with trusted people, but often family just don't understand. So, for instance, my family, there's no one that did business, so they don't understand what a business person goes through on a daily basis. Now, any business owner listening to this, yeah, it's a lot that goes on, right? And it's a really tough journey, and it's often lonely, and you go through it by yourself. But you've got to have those people to get it out. For instance, one of the things I do every night is I do a bit of, I'll say it's journaling, but it's really more like conversations I have with ChatGPT, and I use the paid version of it, and I'll just start a conversation, say, hey, these are the things that happened for me today. I'm feeling really great about these things. This particular thing here is challenging. Can you help me with this? And then you just get into a conversation, and it really just helps get things out of your head. And so it's what helps me remain super, super focused and driven and less distracted because I'm getting it out of the head and getting some strategies for it as well. So it's and there's never any judgment. And you know that you're safe. So that's the key. So you've got to find those people or AI in your life. Just experiment and have a play around with that. So thanks everybody for the questions this week. Can't see how long this took, but probably longer than normal. So I'm not going to see you until after Christmas, but we'll continue to work every Christmas at 22nd. Sorry, every Sunday. It's the 22nd today. Have a great day, everybody. Have a great Christmas. Be safe, be healthy, and let's finish the year really strongly. I'll speak to you on the 29th. Have a great day.